Hey, what is up, my fellow anti-netters? It's been a while. Scott Shepard here. What I want to share with you today and talk about today are all the freaking posers out there. There's all these like make money, writing online types of, early entrepreneurs, people, like they're really freaking glorified ghost writers. And they are actually like, one thing they are not is an actual writer, meaning they actually don't even get paid to write. They don't even make money writing online. There's all these like make money writing online courses. And the interesting thing is all those people freaking do is they write little blog posts that then send people to basically purchase like a $5,000 course or something like insane, like a cohort course or like one of those 30-day challenges, like write every day and produce content every day. The problem with that is essentially this, is that like, first off, all those like 30-day write online writing challenges courses, the interesting thing is like the platforms that they used to use to like write and publish online, which were like literally like, 200, 300 word freaking posts. Now they've gone by the wayside because of the AI chat GPT, whole resurgence that has basically taken the human generated crap content and replaced it with artificial crap content. So if you're in the name of the game, the name of the game is basically for you to produce crap content, I've got bad news for you. You're already like irrelevant and wiped out. Now, here's one I want to share with you on this video, and here's what I want to essentially show you. Okay, I don't want to just riff necessarily on all of the dirt bags and posers out there who teach how to make money writing online, which basically the only way they make money is by teaching courses on how to make money online. So I want to show you this real quick. And I'm just gonna, we're just gonna do one of these first person shooter videos that I'm famous for. I just pulled up my Stripe account. This is for the past, 3 months. And, there's what you can see. That's $54,429, and 98 cents generated. And that was through writing, okay? People pay for writing, okay? And I'm gonna teach you how to actually make money writing. And the irony is that in order to make money writing online, which is what I actually do, I don't teach a freaking course on how to make money writing online, I actually do it. So in order to actually make money online, the great irony is you need to make money writing offline. And here's what I mean. First things first, you've probably seen, this is my antinet Zettelkasten. If you don't know what it is, well, you can pick up my freaking book on it. Right? It's like a 594 page book that I wrote using the system. And essentially that's one way that I am able to write and produce content by writing offline. And here's the second way. You see this? All of those are completely filled out. Before I write every single physical monthly newsletter that I mail out, before I write every email I mail out, I write everything out by hand, longhand. And the reason I do this is because it allows you to slow down your mind and actually produce content that is well thought out. And I do this every single month. It's a boring life. So it's like if you want like some Obsidian hack, and if you want to link your thinking with a bunch of bubble graphs, and if you want to if you're searching for like the latest metadata conventions or the themes in Obsidian, guess what? You're probably not freaking making any money writing online. The key to making money writing online is to write offline. And so I want to show you this. Here is what I did last week. It took me like, I don't know, this was like a day and a half, okay? This is issue number 9 of the Scott Shepard letter, which is coming out. And you can see, it's like, issue number 9 from Orange County, California, Monday, 11:09 a.m. Dear friend and subscriber, my fingers are slightly shaky due to the tequila blanco still making its way out of my system. And look at, I say like, you can see my mistakes, my mess ups, and I do a little revision. Here's the key. This is why writing by hand is so powerful. You can't do a ton of revision. You have to keep going. You can do little revisions like this and keep going. All evening last night, I danced the night away, right? So and sorry for all my Scott Shepard letter subscribers, I'm spoiling the intro a little bit. And let me show you the next part of this process. I then type it out using my old school Courier font, okay? And here's what it has transformed into. My fingers are slightly shaky. And here, look at, we'll put it together. You can see this is where it came from. My fingers are slightly shaky due to the tequila blanco still making its way out of my system. All evening last night, I danced the night away. I was with my family. And so you can see how this, gets basically transformed and transitioned. And the cool part is whenever I am taking the draft, which I've written by hand, and then transferring it here, I'm rereading it, re-understanding it, and also adding some things that are a little bit different, okay? Let's see, I can show you a few things that are different. I was wearing a silk shirt patterned in gecko green flowers and batches of Barbie pink, right? Okay, that's in my draft. In this one, this is my first written draft where I type it out, and I'm gonna share with you the next phase. Let's see. Instead of this one, all right, I was wearing a silk shirt patterned in gecko green and flamingo red, right? I ditched the whole Barbie pink because everyone's freaking, using Barbie pink, and I didn't want to give a different type of imagery, inject a different type of imagery in my reader's mind, okay? And I added a few other things, and look at, here's, what this has turned into, right? Basically, a physical monthly newsletter that is going to be mailed, packaged beautifully, and sleeved in plastic, and land on the doorsteps of my frickin' army of independent writers, creators, and thinkers that I've created. And what's cool in this issue, so you can see, is I'm teaching something called, basically what I call the impeccable origin story formula. And it's the formula that really every single book, every single new chapter, a new book, the first chapter in a new book, even each chapter can have an impeccable origin story of how you earned the lesson. So I'm teaching my framework of how I actually do this, and I'm teaching it using my Zettelkasten, my method. And so here's another thing, and here's actually, and this is, I actually do this in practice. So this is the book that I wrote, the Antinet Zettelkasten book. This is my Antinet Zettelkasten. Here's my entire section that I use to create my own origin story in the book, okay? You can see I follow it to the T, and I'm basically teaching in the Scott Shepherd letter how to do it, step by step, card by card, how to do this. And how did I learn this? How did I learn this formula? I want to share this with you. Is a lot of people think it's this all just, here's issue number 9 that I just, how did I come up with all this content? I'll show you. The first thing I did is I knew that I wanted to write about the origin story concept. So what did I do? I do what a lot of researchers do. I gathered the best books on storytelling and writing. Here's Joseph Campbell's The Hero with 1,000 Faces. Down here, let me see if I can find. Here's what I also pulled out. Pulled out this book where he kind of breaks down and makes The Hero with 1,000 Faces a little bit simpler to understand. And I went through this, and look, I have not read this book end to end fully, but what I do is like any researcher does is I perused the material and went through it. What I did is I went through a few other frameworks. That's a fantastic book if you haven't seen it. I went through a few other frameworks, and then what I did, and I described this in issue number 3 of the Scott Shepherd letter, is I went over to the story section of my Antinet, and you can see right here is story within the field of persuasion is 5225. So what I did was, and by the way, it started as within persuasion, but I've expanded it to just any type of storytelling. And so what I did is I went to 5225 in my Antinet Zettelkasten, and I reviewed this before I sat down to write that issue. Here's a good one from a book on screenwriting. He's like, the structure of a good story. You get a likable guy stuck up a tree, you throw rocks at him, and you get him down out of the tree, right? So what I do is I load my working memory This is all like long-term memory in my antinet Zettelkasten, right? So what I do is I review all this stuff, I load my working memory with it, and then guess what? I don't even create like a actual like detailed outline. You know what I do? Here's the key. I just start writing. I had no idea where the hell I was going to even go when I started writing this issue. Writing is thinking. You discover things and you think through things by writing. You figure it out along the way. And you can meditate all you want. You can delay all you want. But, you know, the motion creates essentially momentum. That's what you want. You want momentum over meditation. You don't want to just sit and outline stuff. You want to sit down and write. And so that's a little bit behind the scenes of what goes into every single month, the production of each one of these Scott Shepherd letters. Now, the next phase, and the thing that I'm going to do right after I get off recording this video, is I sit down and I outline, by the way, in more detail, every single step of this writing process in issue number 4 of the Scott Shepherd letter, okay? So the next step, and I do this, is like, believe it or not, I actually practice what I preach, okay? I pull out, this is a badass Mont Blanc, I'm gonna just pull this one out. I don't know, it's like a Mayan edition Mont Blanc pen. It's has cool little, you know, Mayan symbols here. I don't know if you can see that. Put it under the light, check that out. Look at that. It just that's the secret to success writing online. You have to have a frickin', you know, $700, $800 Mont Blanc Mayan-based frickin' Incan, I don't even know what it is, pen, and in red. And so what I do then is things read differently. This is like the antinet way, okay? It falls into the antinet philosophy. Things read differently when you're reading in physical form. So I go through and I read every single syllable line and I red line it. I make changes in the draft form. I then go back to the actual document and then integrate those changes. I do like a final read through or two, and then boom, it is done. It is polished. It is basically then shipped off to my printer. I of course use my platform, my one platform to rule them all, Greenlamp. It's a amazing platform that runs all my websites, emails, everything, CRM, everything in a box, even my newsletter. Ship it off and boom, it lands on people's doorsteps. And then that's pretty much it. I do this, I make a killer, fantastic living, and I serve people in my tribe, meaning subscribers of the Scott Shepherd letter, who are freaking awesome. And that's all I want to say. Hope that gives you some insight into the real world, what it's really like making money as a professional writer, an actual writer, where you're writing for yourself. You're not just a ghostwriting dipshit slave writing for some VC blowhard out there that pays you money. Like, if you want to be a ghostwriter and be a slave, go take any other freaking course out there. If you want to, you know, I don't know, learn how to write online from a guy that all he does is makes money selling courses about how to write online, go to anyone else out there. But if you want the real freaking behind the scenes, then let what I just showed you stick into your head. Do things the freaking hard way, the antinet way, the old way, the best way. Write it out by hand. Look it, let me show you this one more time again before I end this video. All these, every single email, before I send them out, I write them out by hand, okay? And guess what? It's no surprise that my open rate is insane. My email list is thriving, growing, and I don't even have to frickin' market anything. So, hope that gives you some insight. Hope that gives you some mind food to digest. And always remember to stay crispy, my friend. Peace.